Hello and welcome back to An Old Man Watches, where today I will be talking about the 1959 murder mystery movie, The Bat. And the film begins with mystery author Cornelia Van Gorder renting the Oaks, a summer home in a small town, from local bank president John Fleming. Cordelia plans to spend a few quiet months at the house with her assistant Lizzie. Those plans are quickly derailed, however. You see, unknown to Cordelia, John Fleming is a crook who has stolen $1 million worth of negotiable securities from his own bank. It's about $11 million in today's money, so a tidy sum. Fleming has smartly laid plans to point suspicion at another bank employee, but he still needs an accomplice to help him safely abscond with the loot. Alas for him, he chooses poorly and winds up being legitimately murdered as a result. Fleming's killer covers up the death, though this, of course, still leaves Fleming's as a missing person. But to be fair, it does turn out that people around here have other things on their mind than a single missing man. Not only has the area recently become infested with rabies-carrying bats, but it is also being terrorised by a mysterious murderer, coincidentally also known as the Bat, said to be a man with no face who murders women at night by ripping out their throats with steel claws. I'm beginning to think that Cornelia Van Gorder needs to do a bit more research into prospective places to rent, particularly since it soon becomes clear that her chosen holiday home of the Oaks features large in the schemes of the various criminals who are prowling around. So, in 1908, American novelist Mary Roberts Rinehart released a murder and mystery novel named The Circular Staircase. The book featured some casually gross racism, but that was pretty typical of its era, so it didn't prevent it from becoming quite a big hit. The novel was subsequently translated to the screen as a 1950 silent film, then to a stage show in 1920, where it got renamed to The Bat. And that stage show would then be adapted to cinemas no fewer than 3 times, first in 1926, then again in 1930, in a version that apparently contributed to inspiring Bob Kane's creation of Batman, and then finally in 1959 with this version, which was adapted to the screen and directed by the same man who originally wrote the stage version, Crane Wilbur. Now, Wilbur was nearly 70 at the time and hadn't directed a feature film in nearly a decade, which doesn't sound like a recipe for success, but the resulting movie is actually pretty fun, not at all the fussy old thing you might expect from a man born in the 1880s. For one thing, in penning the script, Wilbur seems to have adopted the eminently practical philosophy that if one is going to make a schlocky murder mystery, one should go all in. The killer should have a memorable alias and an idiosyncratic method of killing. There should be a plethora of potential suspects, a host of dark secrets, a soupçon of odd habits, a hidden room or two, and of course, though it's not unheard of for this to be missed from some films, plenty of killings in your murder mystery. And the Bat delivers on all these fronts, plus it shows in rabid bats as well. Averland's nom de mort is right there in the title of the film, and he dispatches his multiple victims by tearing out their throats with an iron-clawed glove. Not particularly bat-like, perhaps, but it is memorable. As for the other requirements, they are all present as well, as you'll see if you watch the picture. But Crane Wilbur also recognised the line between schlock and parody, and exercises just enough restraint in his script and direction so as to not tumble over that line. A big part of this is the decision to keep the performances relatively grounded. For instance, in other screen adaptations of the play, the Lizzie Allen role was played very broad and shrill. Wilbur tones that character back, giving her much less of a vaudeville slapstick vibe. That decision not only helps keep the characters more likeable, it lets the actors do more natural, nuanced depictions of those characters. Well, the better actors anyway. Some of the supporting cast are a bit middling, but the major roles come through well. Vincent Price, for instance, is in strong form here, and the role of Cordelia is grounded and dignified, giving Agnes Moorehead a chance to show her acting chops in the role. And given that she won 2 Golden Globes and got 4 Oscar nominations, those chops are considerable. Wilbur also does a good job of balancing the plotting and pacing of his film. In the stage show, he had all the events happen in a single night, which required quite a lot of contrivance. He changes that here, allowing in-fiction events to happen in a more measured, natural way. But don't let me make you think that the pace of the film itself might be more measured. It's really not. This picture is a lean 80 minutes and it has a whole lot of stuff to pack into that runtime. Double crosses and murders and revelations abound. It's quite the jaunty little roller coaster ride on the whole. So I had good fun with The Bat. And if you want to see what I think is a pretty good example of the spooky haunted house subgenre that enjoyed a resurgence in the 50s, most famously in 1958's House on Haunted Hill, then I think this movie is a good choice for your first dabble in the type. For one thing, it's out of copyright and should be easy to find online, and for a second, it's a more enjoyable watch than most of the other offerings of its ilk, including, to my mind, the aforementioned House on Haunted Hill. Next time, from an iron-clawed murderer to the man with the finger knives, is the screen debut of 80s horror icon Freddy Krueger in Wes Craven's hit 1984 film A Nightmare on Elm Street. But that is next time. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you've seen The Bat, let me know what you thought of it.